welcome back to my channel ជំរាបសួរសួស្តីអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាសុខសប្បាយថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំនឹងនិយាយអំពីអ្វីៗដែលយើងបានរៀនមករហូតដល់ថ្ងៃមុនហើយយើងដាក់ចូលទាំងអស់តាំងពីដើមរហូតដល់ចុងក្នុងការជ្រើសរើសក្រុមហ៊ុនដែលមានលក្ខណៈដែលយើងចង់បានហើយនឹងអាចឲ្យយើងមានជោគជ័យក្នុងការធ្វើវិនិយោគអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំប្រើ Facebook ជាឧទាហរណ៍ក្នុងមេរៀននេះព្រោះអីខ្ញុំនិយាយអំពី Facebook many times already. Okay, so let's get started. ដោយបងប្អូនចាំអញ្ចឹងជើងទី1យើងត្រូវមើលតើ Facebook មាន wide economic mode ឬក៏អត់ហើយយើងទៅកន្លែងណាដើម្បីមើលហ្នឹងយើងទៅមើលនៅក្នុង Morning Star. Okay, so let's go. This is Morning Star ខ្ញុំ type Facebook already អញ្ចឹងយើងចូលមកមើលនៅខាងក្រោមនេះយើងឃើញថា economic mode wide. Okay, also we'll be using Morningstar for fair value also. So right now if you can jot it down is 245. We'll come back anyway. So that's the first step that we looked at. The next step that we need to look at is the financial statement. So in Morningstar we want total revenue is right here. All right, click this. So total revenue we want to see it's going up. អញ្ចឹង for total revenue យើងចង់មើលថាវាកើនឡើងរាល់ឆ្នាំចាយើងចង់ company ណាដែលរយបានចូលច្រើនរាល់ឆ្នាំហើយកើនឡើងអូខេអញ្ចឹងលើកមើលពីឆ្នាំ2014 also remember we need to look at it for 5 years or more. 10 years is better but we don't have the data. អញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវមើលយ៉ាងតិចណា5ឆ្នាំ6ឆ្នាំឡើងដល់10ឆ្នាំក៏ល្អដែរដល់ហើយឆ្នាំ2014 12 billions right here. So 17 27 40 55 70. So you see it's all increasing. The next one we want to look at is net income from operations. So we type net income from continuing operations. This one. All right. So it's going 2.9, 3.6, 10, 15, 22, 18. So you see it's all going up. That's what we want. ចឹងយើងឃើញថាវាកើនឡើងរាល់ឆ្នាំអានឹងល្អយើងចង់ឃើញអញ្ចឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងជើង next step we need to look at cash flow. Okay, so then we need to change this to cash flow and then we type cash flow. It's this one right here. And we also want to see cash flow going up. អញ្ចឹង cash flow ក៏ត្រូវកើនឡើងរាល់ឆ្នាំ5 billions, 8 billions, 16, 24, 29 and 36. So that's good. That's what we want also. The next one we want to see growth. Basically it's earning per share and we're going to Finviz or simply Wall Street. So let's go over there. Okay, here's Finviz. We want EPS the next 5 years. It's right here. It says 16.37%. I prefer 10% or more for growth companies, but then for regular companies that we're not investing for growth, anything is fine as long as it's not negative. អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំចង់ថាបើសិនណាជា company ដែលយើង invest ដើម្បីវាកើតឡើងឬទៅលឿនឡើងថាអាហ្នឹងយើងចង់មើល growth rate យ៉ាងអន់ណា 10% ក៏ប៉ុន្តែបើមិនជាគេហៅថា growth company អាហ្នឹង growth rate យើងចង់ឃើញហ្នឹង តិចជាង 10% ក៏អត់ដែរក៏អត់អីដែរក៏ប៉ុន្តែត្រូវតែ positive not negative. Okay, the next step we need to go to is ROE, return on equity. And where do we go? We go to FinWiz. Here's my FinWiz, and ROE is 21.50%, and we want it to be at least 12 to 15%. So it's in the range, it's good. And then the next step we want to look at is debt. Okay, so the next one that we need to look at is current ratio and debt to EBITDA. And where do we go for that? We go to Guru Focus. Here's Guru Focus, and remember you type Facebook and you want summary, okay? And then you look at current ratio down here. Where is that? 4.6. Okay, so current ratio we want it greater than 1, so 4.6 is good. And then we want to see debt to EBITDA, which is 0.31 for Facebook, and we want it to be less than 3. Alright, so it is less than 3. Jung, what's next? We need to do calculation to do what do they call? Debt servicing ratio. We need to go to Morningstar. Alright, so we go to Morningstar, and what do we need to look at? This is going to be under income statement. We want interest expense. It's this one right here. Right here, remember we got 0 right here. And then we need to go to cash flow and cash flow from operating activities, this one. And remember we look at the TTM, it's 38 billions. So 0 divides by 38 billions, it's still 0. So it's good because we want it to be less than 30%. So in this case, 0 is less than 30%. Alright, so those are the steps that we have to go through. Alright, អញ្ចឹង steps ទាំងប្រមាណនេះយើងត្រូវមើលទាំងអស់ត្រូវ pass ទាំងអស់ណា Okay, so the next step, what do we do? As I said, we were gonna come back to Facebook, right? So now we know what the fair value is for Facebook, which is 245, right? And then we look at Simply Wall Street, and we look under valuation, and where did it go? Okay, so valuation for Facebook, it says 252, right? And then 245, 252. So you pick the middle one if you want, right? So what is that? So let's see. I cannot do the math in my head. So 245 from Morningstar plus 252.76 divide that by 2, so 248.88. So let's say 249. All right, so the next step, what do we need to do is to look at our chart. You remember I showed the moving averages, so now we need to look at the chart. Okay, អញ្ចឹងយើងទៅមើល TD Ameritrade chart of Facebook. Okay, so here it is. អញ្ចឹង chart នេះខ្ញុំមាន moving averages. អញ្ចឹងតើយើងមើលយ៉ាងម៉េចយើងចង់មើលតើតម្លៃវាថ្ងៃនេះនៅឯណា ngàyនេះវាបិទនៅតម្លៃ239 high is 250 and low is 132 okay and we said we want to buy at 249 something right 248.8 so it's about 249 249 is way up here it closed at 239 something so it's about current price តម្លៃឥឡូវហ្នឹងប្រហែលជាជិត$10ក្រោមពី fair value បើសិនណាជាយើងចង់ទិញយើងអាចទិញបានព្រោះតម្លៃវាពិតប្រាកដប្រហែលជា250ថាប៉ុន្តែយើងមិនចង់ទិញកាលណាតម្លៃវានៅថ្លៃអូខេយល់ល្អយើងទិញនៅ50 day moving average 230ប៉ុន្តែចំពោះខ្ញុំចង់ទិញនៅក្រោមនេះbetween 202 and 206 okay so that's very simple way of looking at it and see where you want to buy it អញ្ចឹងបើសិនណាជាយើងមើលទៅឃើញតម្លៃដូចថាថោកប៉ុន្តែវាអាចចុះថោកទៀតថាម្ល៉េះហើយស៊ីសងយើងចង់ទិញឥឡូវហ្នឹងឬមួយក៏យើងចង់ចាំប៉ុន្តែយោបល់ខ្ញុំទិញឥឡូវហ្នឹងថ្លៃបើសិនណាជាចង់ទិញខ្លះថាចាំវាចូលមក230ហើយទិញបន្ថែមទៀតកាលណាវាចូលមក206 ឬក៏202 between those two okay so let's look at another one let's look at Microsoft okay let's see where do we start we start with Morningstar okay so Microsoft is MSFT enter okay so we come down here we take a look it has a wide economic mode all right that's the first step fair value is 196 so I'm going to enter in my calculator 196 and then we are going to look at financials we're gonna go look at income statement and we look at total revenue is right here so 86 93 85 89 110 125 ចឹងឃើញវាចុះទៅពី86 93 85ចូលពី93ណាហើយឡើងមកវិញហើយឡើងរឹតទៅឡើងទៀតថៃបើសិនណាជាវាចុះមួយឆ្នាំប៉ុន្តែបើយើងមើល6ឆ្នាំទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងវាឡើងអានឹងអត់អីទេ so it's okay next we look at what do we look at next we look at net income net income from continuing operations and then 22 12 16 21 16 39ឃើញទេឆ្នាំ2014 high 2015 low ប៉ុន្តែវាឡើងមកវិញ6 21ចុះហើយឡើងមកវិញទៀតប៉ុន្តែ overall it's going up so it's okay next we look at cash flow we type cash flow from operating activities this one okay so 2014 32 29 33 39 43 52ឆ្នាំ2015វាចុះបន្តិចថាប៉ុន្តែវាឡើងមកវិញ so it's okay overall it's going up next so we go to FinViz and we type MSFT enter Microsoft EPS next 5 years 15.22% so really good okay next one we look at is ROE we also look at FinViz and ROE is right here 42.7%. Okay, next we go to Guru Focus. We look at current ratio. It's 2.9 and it's supposed to be greater than 1, so it's good. Next we look at debt to EBITDA. It's 1.1. It's supposed to be less than 3, so they both are good. Next we go to Morningstar. So Morningstar, we go to income statement. We go to interest expense net or capitalized interest. Alright. And then looks like they paid out this billion. So they paid out in interest 2.57 billion. Negative sign just means that they pay out. Okay. លេខដកអានឹងបានន័យថាគេបង់លុយតម្លៃចុងថា and next we go to cash flow. We go to cash flow from operating activities, and then we see, okay, so for this one is 58.11 billions. So we take 2.57 divided by 58.11, so that's 0.044. So that's the same as 4%, 4.4%. What do we want? We want it to be less than 30%, so it's good. So next we go back to fair value. This one, it says 196, so 196, and then we go to Simply Wall Street and we type MSFT, and it's Microsoft. We go to valuation, and they say fair value is 183. Okay, so we can take the average of the two. Morningstar says 196 and this one says 183.94, so plus 193.94 divided by 2, so 194.97. Okay, so same thing as 195. Next we're gonna go look at our chart. We need to change this to MSFT. Okay, so the chart is beautiful, this one. Why I say that? Because they all lined up. You see that? 50, 100, 150 and 200. This is where it dipped when we had coronavirus at the beginning, and then it went all the way to 216 and it ended at 211 today. Okay, so we say, or we found, that the fair value for Microsoft is about 195. So at 213 is overpriced, so we cannot buy it. Okay, definitely we cannot buy. If you want to buy, go ahead, it's your money, but I won't. Okay, អញ្ចឹងតម្លៃវា230ជាងនឹងលើសពីតម្លៃគេហៅថា fair value ថាម្លោះហើយយើងមិនចង់ទិញទេយ៉ាងហោចណាស់យើងទិញនៅក្រោមនេះ194អញ្ចឹងធ្វើម៉េចយើងត្រូវតែចាំដល់ដោយខ្លាចាំចាប់ជាមយ៉ាងណាឬក៏ prepare just like a lion waiting for its prey. Okay, so 194.95, about 195. So this is actually where the fair value is, 194.95. Preferably we want to buy it low down here. Okay, ideally is to buy at 168. Who knows, you know, it can come down here all the way here again. Why? Because last time when we had coronavirus, it broke all the lines, right? All the moving averages. So there is a good chance that it may come down again. but when it's gonna come down we don't know, so we had to wait. Okay, so this is all. I just want to summarize everything so you can see the process, how you go about selecting a stock to buy. Also on top of that, even though you know what the price to buy, you cannot buy right away. You need to look at your chart and see where it is, and then if it's not at a good price, then you have to wait. There is a reason why I select a stock, because one, it's a good company, the process, all the steps that we went through, right? And two, we know what the fair value is. And three, we're using the chart, which is a technical analysis. This is just very basic. I'll teach some more that we may not need it, probably one or two of them that I have in mind that I want to show that can also help. Okay, and then from that we decide where to buy, whether we can buy it right now or we have to wait. In this case, Microsoft, we have to wait. For Facebook, it's okay to buy, it's still undervalued, however I don't want to pay too much, so I would wait. Okay, អញ្ចឹងបងប្អូនបានឃើញហើយតើខ្ញុំធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចក្នុងការជ្រើសរើសភាគហ៊ុនដើម្បីយើងទិញមិនថ្លៃយើងដើម្បីយើងទិញឲ្យបានធូរថ្លៃម្ល៉េះហើយបើកាលណាយើងទិញថ្លៃពេកយើងមិនចំណេញច្រើនកាលណាវាឡើងមកវិញថាម្ល៉េះហើយយើងត្រូវតែចាំជាងស៊ីសងតើ stop នឹងយ៉ាងម៉េចយើងត្រូវមើលតាមមេរៀនរបស់យើងហើយយើងនឹងសម្រេចតើតម្លៃប្រមាណយើងត្រូវទិញបើសិនណាជាកលៈទេសៈវាមិនទាន់មកដល់ឲ្យយើងទិញយើងត្រូវចាំដល់ពេលវាចុះមកហើយយើងទិញនឹងបានចំណេញច្រើនទៅថ្ងៃក្រោយ Okay, so thank you for watching. អរគុណច្រើនដែលបានមើលវីដេអូរបស់ខ្ញុំសូមជួយ control channel នេះដើម្បីខ្ញុំនឹងធ្វើវីដេអូថែមទៀតអរគុណសុខសប្បាយ See you next time. Bye bye.